This is the Brocock Contour Super 6 6-shot pre-charged pneumatic. It is this one's in 177 caliber. It's a very small, compact, light air rifle, and it's very popular actually. Comes with obviously a timber stock, which is a thumb hole, and it's also what's called skeletonized or profile, which makes it even lighter, more manoeuvrable. It's got an excellent 2-stage trigger, and the 6-shot rotary magazine with bolt action there. To load the magazine, you obviously would cock the rifle and lock the bolt back. The magazine then just pulls out, and you will see two little rounded bits. You've got a small one at the front and a large at the rear, so you load your pellets in from the rear pointing forwards. The O-ring here holds them in place, and when you replace the magazine, it's the large sort of ball that goes to the rear of the gun, just like so. And as you put the thing back in, put the bolt across, and each time you cock the rifle, it rotates the magazine. Being a bolt action, you've got quite a quick second follow-up shot, obviously up to 6. In my opinion, the 6 shots isn't bad, but it's not as usable or useful as having a 10 shot. You have to keep in mind how many shots you've fired, because if you don't keep tally of the numbers, then you're going to find yourself firing a blank, possibly out of a quarry, and scaring a whole lot off. So yeah, one thing to keep in mind: to count your shots when you're firing, because it's easy to miscount or misremember how many you've already fired, and then you're firing a blank or double checking yourself, and that becomes a pain. Apart from that, it's good. The barrel is actually threaded for a 10mm thread. This is a silencer adapter to bring it up to a standard half-inch UNF thread. The small air cylinder is it's all proportioned well. You've got your fill port under this threaded cap, and in this 177 I get from 200 bar fill 25 full power shots, which is plenty for hunting. It really is plenty. Before the power starts to drop off, you've got 25 useful shots. I tend to stick 24. You've got 6 shots there, so 4 magazines worth, then it needs a refill. Just an easy way of remembering it rather than loading one pellet in. You can actually, if you are on a range and they don't allow magazines, if you've got the 6-shot version, it's not too fiddly to actually load the pellets in one by one. You have to do it by tilting the gun sort of downwards, and then just fill the pellet in, and it will drop into the hole, and then you can just do a single shot. Rather than, obviously, some ranges and clubs ban magazine fed guns or multi-shot options, so that's a useful feature. It's not too fiddly. If you've got big fingers, you might find it awkward, but I haven't got particularly massive ones, but they're not tiny either, and it's not too difficult to do that. Reliability has been good. Had 1 or 2 issues when I first got it. The barrel, I think, needed replacing. It was a faulty barrel from Brocock. That's where they get their barrels from at the moment. They're Brocock barrels, so they're good barrels, but now it's shooting spot on. Really good gun. Doesn't take, because it's a small cylinder, it doesn't take many pumps to actually fill it up again, because obviously you've not got much air in here. So to refill, you think, oh, 25 shots, that's a lot of pumping, but it's the exact same amount of pumping as if you had an Airwolf, except, or, you know, with a massive buddy bottle on the front. You know, it's about 2 pumps per shot. So, you know, it's fewer pumps to pump this back up to full than it is on a bigger rifle, and because it's only a small cylinder, it's not much effort to just top it back up again. Yeah, on the other side, not much to see really. You've got the cover plate and the little mechanism for the magazine indexing, which this sort of thing pops out as you work the action, your serial number, etc. Yeah, it's a good little gun. It's very good. With the silencer on, it's very small. It only weighs about, well, it's under 2 kilos, 2 kilograms. So it's a very light gun, and even with a silencer on, it's very compact and pointable. And the stock gives you the option for the thumb through or the thumb up, depending on if you have a preference. So you can get accurate shooting no matter what you do. And obviously you can decock the rifle, which this is obviously cocked, by holding the bolt back, pull the tension on the spring, pull the trigger and slowly release the bolt forward, decocking the rifle. And obviously the bolt holding this back acts as a safety. That's a safety obviously mechanism, so which is not as useful as a proper safety. It perhaps, technically speaking, might be more safe because they do say that any mechanical safety could fail. This obviously the bolt is wedged back, so you can it's safe, but with an indexing magazine, it's not so useful. It's not so useful as a safety, in my opinion. You've got the only tricky parts on the gun really is you haven't got a lot of scope rail to play with, which is a little bit of a fiddle. So you've got to choose the right sort of scope to suit your eye relief and the gun and the right sort of mount setup. It's not too bad, but it just takes a bit of a play. With this particular setup, you can see you've got plenty of room on the scope for your rings and movement adjustment, etc. Now, for example, if you wanted to fit a gun light, it may be a bit tricky in this particular setup. I'd have to probably manage right back here to get the actual clamp on, or adjust my mounts, and if I move that back just might get it on the front. Different scopes vary, just one thing to keep in mind. Apart from that, it's very good. The service from Brocock was very good. I must admit, I did phone them up initially to just inquire about the gun and the reliability, etc. So they didn't have any problems with them. They recently, or fairly recently, changed the magazines from an aluminium or alloy, which were coloured, to the stainless steel, which apparently is better. I can see why. It's obviously a stronger metal, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if they had any particular issues with them, but this does work well. The indexing's pretty good. Occasionally, if you don't quite pull it back all the way, because it's quite stiff, the end of the spring is quite stiff this direction when you get right towards the end. If you don't quite cock it back, it won't necessarily rotate all the way, and you'll come forward and you'll be hitting metal, so you have to pull it back again just to get it to spin round. Or of course you could just put your finger on it and just rotate it manually, because it's quite easy to do. So nothing really major. I mean, you get this with quite a lot of repeating air rifles. There's potential little problems and things that are just little niggles where things aren't quite perfect, but it's not faulty or anything. It is good. It does work, 99.9% of the time. It's a good little rifle. Yeah, it's accurate. Obviously it's a good barrel by Rock, except for the first faulty one. But they are good barrels. They make good guns. And it's a strong barrel. You think it looks quite thin. You think it might be flimsy, but it's actually really strong. There's no flex in there, and it looks like it's quite a way into the block here. So it's got a good firm hold. It's a single screw Allen key to take the stock off, and there's very little to actually see underneath there. It's a very simple gun, and they're quite easy to work on. I have watched a video on here YouTube which shows a strip down of the concept, which is the exact same action, and it's very basic, very simple, which in theory, if it's simple, it should be reliable, and it has been so far. So yeah, it's a good gun. The prices actually are quite good as well in the UK, particularly compared to other multi-shots and pre-charged pneumatics. They are offering good value for money. It obviously comes with the fitting adapter for your pump or bottle to refill. But yeah, it's a good rifle. They are good.